Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm an Amsterdam-based writer and photographer who loves to travel the world and share my adventures with you. In today's video, we'll visit the Alhambra in Granada, Spain. This historic palace is a crown jewel of Moorish architecture dating back to the 13th century. Of course, I brought my Rolleiflex along to capture the stunning scenery. I chose 400 speed film because it's versatile enough for both sun-drenched courtyards and dimly lit interiors. As we explore, I'll share tips for film photography and mindful creativity with you. And at the end of our journey, I'll also share my suggestions for planning your own visit. We began at the iconic Nasrid Palace. You'll need a separate ticket, so we booked ours in advance for the opening at 8:30 a.m. We spent the first 30 to 45 minutes just observing and appreciating the rare experience of being inside this incredible site with only a few other people. I'm so glad we could visit early to enjoy a quiet moment, because it's no surprise that the area was swarming with tourists within an hour.
Oh, thank you. It was from my abuelo.
Your grandfather?
Yeah. From 1966.
Oh,
Yeah.
so enjoy.
Thank you. I love it. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you got a fan.
My fans. They're not my fans, they're her fans. She's the special one. I'm like, I want to take pictures of everything, but I'm also like, I can't take pictures of everything.
As a travel writer and photographer, I'm lucky to explore remarkable places for work and for fun. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of planning and patience required. I start by researching a location in advance, and once I get there, I lean into mindful creativity with intentional observation. It also helps to study the environment a few times before taking a photo. I often notice other travelers rushing through, quickly snapping photos without really connecting to their surroundings. But I believe slowing down to observe and connect is the key to creating more meaningful storytelling. Plus, it gives you the chance to find a unique perspective instead of going for the exact same shot. It's important to consider when to raise your camera and when to be present and simply observe. This mindful method works wherever you are. Here's what I tend to do. Start with a deep breath and give yourself a moment to soak up all the sensory details. Listen to the sounds and feel the air all around you. Examine the light from multiple angles. Observe how people move through the space and through your lens. And notice the textures and details that give a space its unique personality. This is especially helpful when shooting medium format film because you're limited to only 12 shots per roll. Once immersed in a scene, my camera becomes an extension of my view, and it feels like a meditative experience as I carefully consider each frame. I hope my approach to mindful creativity will help elevate your photography techniques too. Built in the 13th century, the Alhambra was the last stronghold of the Nasrid dynasty, the last Islamic rulers of Spain. Within the Nasrid Palace, the Court of the Lions is an iconic site to explore. You may recognize the 124 impressive marble columns and the fountains surrounded by 12 lions in this exquisite palace. Remember to look up when visiting this area. A lot of the incredible art is actually up above you. The muqarnas are vaulted ceilings made of thousands of individual pieces that create a stunning geometric honeycomb. Throughout the Alhambra, I was fascinated with how the morning light filtered through the ornately carved arches. When photographing these intricate rooms, I leaned into geometry to discover frames within frames. Here you can see how I use the arches to create depth. Let's talk about exposure settings. Today I'm working with the Rollei's internal light meter. It was an overcast morning, so with darker interiors, I'm really thankful for the Rollei's leaf shutter. This allows me to shoot handheld at surprisingly low speeds, like 1/60th or 1/30th of a second. The Alhambra is so elaborate that it's almost overwhelming, but in the best way possible. Islamic art focuses on nature, geometric patterns, and ornamental calligraphy. Every detail here tells a story. The Arabic inscriptions you see everywhere aren't only for decoration, they're also poetry, mathematic formulas, and philosophies. Today I'm shooting a roll of Fuji Pro 400H. It's one of my favorite but sadly discontinued film stocks. 400 ISO is an excellent choice for mixed lighting conditions, and I'm usually shooting around f4 or f5.6 to balance sharpness and depth. Here you can see the green cypress trees and hedges meet pops of red. It's a perfect scene for this film because it renders greens so well. Perched on a hill 150 meters high, the Alhambra looks over Granada's historic Albaicín and Sacramento neighborhoods. When shooting a square format, you can also think about dividing your frame into thirds, both vertically and horizontally. It's also wise to give a little extra headroom at the top of your frame because with the TLR camera, the taking lens sits a bit below the viewing lens, so the final image can be slightly off from what you actually see in the viewfinder. It's no surprise that the Alhambra's many gardens were some of my favorite areas to explore. In Islamic design, a garden's green, shade, and water features represent paradise on earth. But of course, they also serve a deeper purpose to keep visitors cool in the hot Spanish sun. The gardens were a sensorial experience with the interplay of colorful, fragrant flowers like roses, lavender, and orange blossoms mixed with the relaxing sound of water. Whether you're exploring near or far, remember that the true joy of photography isn't only in the final images, it's also in the process of observing, feeling, and connecting with the place to make a memory you can hold on to forever. Leading up to the last shot on this roll, I knew that I wanted to capture a pink or red flower with the contrasting green background. And eventually, I found this beautiful magenta lotus. It was a bit of a gymnastics challenge to balance and find the right angle, so it took a few tries, but I framed up my shot and was lucky to catch a bee resting on the flower. I can't think of a better way to end this roll. Later, we passed through the palace of Charles V, a Renaissance-style building with a large open courtyard. There are two museums inside, one showcasing ancient artifacts and another with Spanish artworks. Curiosity is in my nature, and I wanted to explore every corner, but after a few busy hours of photographing, we were ready for a break. Next, we hiked up to the Alcazaba. It's an old military fortress that offers sweeping views of Granada below. If you only have one day to visit, then I definitely recommend starting early at the Nasrid Palace with a quick visit to the Alcazaba and then spending the rest of your day exploring the Generalife Gardens. Your ticket allows one entry to each site, so once you visit, that's it. There's so much to see in the Alhambra that you could easily spend a few days here. So that's exactly what we decided to do. To wrap up our visit, we walked over for a quick look at the Generalife Gardens. It was so stunning that we decided to come back another day with fresh energy. Check out my blog to discover more about visiting the Alhambra. And stay tuned for my next video. We return to explore the lush Generalife Gardens. See you next time!